that time. Are you ready, my mathematicians? Let's get warmed up. All right, let's count by twos. Let's start with 12. Are you ready? 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48. Stop. Hopefully you did well. Let's do 25. So you ready? 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 50, 75, 100. Stop. Are you starting to remember it? You might have to check in and see if you do remember it. I'm going to share my screen just because it's sometimes easier to do this one. I know I always say to picture it, but today I thought I'm going to show them my part of my scroll. So let's count by tens, but let's start with 6. And remember, we're going to drop it on down. So if you need to look at it, you can. So you can either look straight into the camera or you can look at me, but we're going to count by tens because we're dropping down. We're going to start with 6. Are you ready? So 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66, 76, 86, 96, 106. Whew. How'd you do? Hopefully you did pretty well with that. I'm going to also ask that you get out your whiteboard because we're going to do some more math. We haven't done this in a while. Let's see if you remember some evens and odds. I'm going to give you a number. You tell me if it's even by just giving me a thumbs up or if it's odd by giving it a thumbs down. Let's start with this number. That number is 217. Is it even or is it odd? Show me with your fingers. We're going to scroll through and see which way those thumbs are going. And if your thumb was pointing down, you're right, because that is an odd number. Why? Because the last number, the number in that ones place is odd. So 207 is not a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, so we know that. Let's do another one. Let's do 4,370. Okay, so tell me with your thumbs up or down. Is it even or is it odd? So even, odd, get your thumbs ready. Some people are already doing it. Some people still thinking. The answer is up. It is an even number. And why? Because it ends in that 0. So we know 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. It's going to be an even number. We only have to look at that last one. Let's do a really hard one because I'm going to stump you this time. I know it. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I've got a big number there. Remember, I go back 3 and I put a comma. So 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. Wow, that's a big number. Can you tell me if it's even or odd? Show me with your thumb. Which way you go. It's odd, right? Because all you had to do was look at that very last number and you know that it's odd. All right. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different because I have been giving you numbers like this. Remember, and I've been asking you to write them down 1, 2, 3. So this number is 123. But what I want you to do now is I want you to get your whiteboard out. I'm going to give you a number and I want you to write the base 10 number that goes with it. So I'll give you an example to start. So if I give you the number 227. Oops, did I say 200? 327. If I showed you this number on your board, what you should be doing is you should be writing 300s. You should be writing 2 10s. And you should be, oops, sorry for my light again. And you should be writing 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So let's see if you can do one by yourself. Let's do, I'll put it up here so it's not in the glare. Let's do 251. Please write 251 with your base 10 blocks. So think of how many hundreds you would write, how many tens you would write, how many ones you would write. And as soon as you're done, you can show the screen. Okay. So you would have written 200s. Some of you are getting this done. I love it. 200s. And how many tens do you have to write? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many ones do you have to write? All right. If you did that right, give yourself a pat on the back, a hug, and a high five because you did it. One more. I'm going to make this one tricky because that's my job, right? My job is to stump you. Can I stump you though? I don't know. You're getting pretty good at this. Let's do this number. 103, and it's a tricky one. 103. How are you writing that? Okay, as soon as you're done, I want you to show the camera. And if you did it correctly, there's 100. Are there any tens? Nope, you didn't have to write a single 10. But you did have to write some ones. How many ones did you have to write? 1, 2, 3. Oops, look at that light there. So if you did that one correct, that's what it would look like. All right, erase your board. Now, I'm going to give you some money and see if you can tell me how much money it is. All right? Let's start with some nickels. Do you remember what a nickel is worth? It's worth 5. How much money is that? I want you to write it down and then show the camera. How much money is that? All right, and so if you count this up now, 5, 10, 15. So you should have written 15 cents. All right, erase your board. Let's do this one. I'm going to mix it up now. I'm going to put a dime, a nickel, 2 pennies. All right, so count that up. How much is that? And when you think you know the answer, I want you to write it down on your board and I want you to show us. All right. I'm going to go ahead and count. Remember, dimes are worth 10, nickels are worth 5, and pennies are worth 1. So I'm going to count this up. Are you ready? 10, 15, 16, 17. So you would have written it like this, 17 cents. I think I told you before too, if you wanted to use the other symbol, you could use a dollar sign and you could say $0 and 17 cents. But remember, you never put those two in the same place ever. They don't like each other. I'll tell you that story another day. One last one for money. Uh-oh, Mrs. Doran. Look at that. Quarters and a penny. Do you remember how to count by quarters? Write it down on your board. And then show the camera. Some of you guys did that really fast. All right, I'm going to go ahead and count. So if you count with me, it's 25, 50, 75. Then I have to change gears. So 75, 76. So if you wrote that one right, it's 76 cents. Or you could have written it with a dollar sign. $0 and 76 cents. So now, oh, we didn't do our sums of 10. Oh my goodness, how could I forget that? That's like that's the thing we're getting so good at. Okay, I'm going to show you a number, see how fast you can go. Okay, show me the fingers, and then I promise when we'll move on. Ready? What number goes with 7? 7. Oops. 5, 6, 7, 3. Some of you guys did that faster than I did this time. All right, here, let's do another one. 4. What number goes with 4? Show me quickly. 6. Getting faster, getting more, definitely more faster. More fast, faster, or more fast. I don't know. Anyway, next one, are you ready? Show me what number goes with 2. What number goes with 2? Quickly. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, high five to you. Now we're moving on. So today's kind of fun because if you are a writer, and I know that you all are amazing writers, today is your chance where you get to be kind of like the teacher, because sometimes if you're taking a test or reading a math problem, there's a lot of words around. This time you get to write the words. So in your math journal today, you're going to be opening up to page 19. And I don't want you to do it right now. I just want you to wait for a second. But you've got a picture that looks like this. And it says, write an addition number story about what you see in the picture. Write a label in the unit box, find the answer, and write a number model. So there's a lot of words there that some of you are grown-ups, if they're listening, are probably like, what in the world is a number model? What is all this unit boxes? Let's explain it to them, because I know most of you remember this from first grade. So right now, let's look at the picture. In the picture, we see some ducks, and some ducks are swimming. We see some ducks standing. We see some people walking and some people sitting. So there's a lot of stuff going on that we could talk about, isn't there, in this picture? Let's look at the example that they wrote. So they wrote, there are 7 ducks in the water, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 3 ducks in the grass. 1, 2, 3. How many ducks are there in all? Okay, so they wrote the words. Then they got the answer, because we know 7 plus 3. So we got 7, 8, 9, 10. So the answer is 10 ducks. Now the number model is just that equation, that plus. In this case, it's going to be a plus problem because we're working on addition stories. So the number model that you would write is 7 plus 3 equals 10. And what was it we were counting again? Oh yeah, we were counting ducks, right? So you can go ahead and do that. So maybe you want to write a story about the people and how many people were sitting around the pond and how many people were walking. But you want it to be an addition story. And what that means is that the answer, which is over here, is going to be bigger than the other 2 numbers. Okay, so when you're writing a number story, there's a couple things you need to do. The first thing is you need to say what there is. There are, and you tell us a number. And then maybe in your story, some more things come. So then you're going to do the second part. So like, there are so many people sitting on the grass. There are so many people standing. And then the last part that's really important is you have to ask your question, which is how many in all? So there are really 3 steps to writing an addition story. What there is, how many in all. So let's look at this again and see if they did that. There are 7 ducks. Step 1. There are 3 ducks in the grass. Step 2. Step 3 is always the same. How many in all? So maybe you include how many people in all, or how many, ducks in all, or dogs, or whatever your number story is going to be about. They want you to write it about this particular story. So you're going to go ahead and write your words and your answer and your number model and whatever it is you're counting. So like I said, maybe you're going to be talking about the people. Maybe you talk about how many people are feeding the ducks. That choice is yours, but 3 steps. There are, how many? So you're writing 1, 2, 3 sentences, and I know you can do it. And when you're done with 19, you got some more stuff. So this is going to be kind of a longer day, because check it out. Woo. Now, some of you, I know I have kids in my class that are in way deep into their scrolls. So I'm imagining that some of you are very deep into your scrolls too. What this is this is like a scroll that, your little kid brother or sister got into and they messed it up. And some of the spaces are covered and you can no longer write on them. Has that ever happened to you? Like a paper gets ripped or maybe some water spills on it and then you can't write on it? It's kind of the worst. So what you're going to do today is you're going to fill out just the white spots. So 11, it comes here, right? 12. And this would be 13. I'm not going to write that in. Here's 14. Give me 15. I don't have to write in 16, but I have to write in 17, 18, 19, 20. Now you could keep going. 20, 21, this would be 22. You could do it that way. But now that you know how to do it more efficiently, you could definitely drop these down, couldn't you? So 12, 22, 32, 42, 52. So you could fill in these grids, whatever works for you. Now check it out. It gets harder because now they have hundreds places. So your hundreds place is going to stay the same. Look at every number on here. It starts with 3. Because these are hundreds grid, so each one is going to be 100, right? So this is going to be 3. So this was 332. This is going to be 333, 334, 335, 336, 337. What is it? 338. And just like how I told you, it's that 3 stays at the front. So you might as well just put like 3 at the beginning of all these boxes. And then you'll know them better. So 33, but when I drop down, what comes next? 33, 43, 53, 63, 73. So you're going to want to make sure you fill that out. Now, every number in this part of the box has to have 3 digits. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you're going to want to check that. Okay. I don't think that's going to take you that long, especially since so many of you are like amazing with those number scrolls. And finally, you have a math box. So you have 3 pages today. You have the number story, the number scroll paper, kind of that your kid, brother, or sister messed up maybe, or your dog maybe, or your bird, or your Russian tortoise, or your bearded dragon, because I have all of those in my house. Could have been anybody. Anyway. So, and then you have the math boxes, so the 3rd page. So this is the 3rd page. It says use a number grid and how many spaces are there from 18 to 28. So again, you can look back here, count how many spaces, and how many hops is it. So you're going to do that for those 2. This one says to show $1. And it doesn't say you have to do it a couple times, so you only have to do it once. So you can use either pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, but they want you to show $1 or 100 cents, okay? For this one, we've talked about it before a lot. Is it greater than, less than, or equal to? And so you have to decide which side is bigger. Now, sometimes you're gonna have to do some adding. So like 9 plus 3, you do 9, 10, 11, 12. You can write that above here. Which one would you rather eat? 12 pickles or 10 pickles? Well, if you were me, you'd want 12 pickles. So you're going to want to make sure you're munching on whatever's bigger, okay? So that's number 3. And then number 4 says which numbers are larger than 38. So anything that's 38, bigger than 38, you're going to color in. So if you thought this was bigger, you're going to color it in, color it in, color it in, color it in. But you got to look first because not every number here is bigger than 38. So larger means bigger. And then it says count by 25s. Hopefully we know how to do that because that was in our warm-ups. But notice it's just like when we count by 2s and it repeats. So it would be like 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300. So hopefully you've gotten used to that practice and that pattern. And then finally, you have a story here where you're going to write a number model just like the one you just wrote. So it says there are 6 pencils in a cup. That's the first part to know. Then 3 more are added. How many are in the cup now? So you've got 3 parts of that problem. So you can write that number model down. The first part plus the second part equals the third part. You're going to write your answer there, and they've already even finished that unit for you, which is pencils. All right, so today, again, you're doing 3 math pages. And then if you get finished, because believe it or not, some of you probably will get done early, you have a math choice that you can make. So you could do the number scrolls. You could get on the website and do some of those math games. You could go into the math manipulative parts. I know you guys have been doing great jobs with those pictures we worked on last week. So have fun, and we will be checking in. So remember, stay close to your computer because you might hear your name coming out of it from one of us. So have a great day, and I will see you later.